Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Daniel. This is Jonathan. Today we are back with Death Note episode 10.
Yes.
Crazy twist. Last episode, did not expect L
to reveal himself.
I didn't expect them to be in the same room, much less him just reveal himself out flat.
Exactly. It was a very bold move. And something I didn't mention it, I think he got the idea from watching the surveillance videos of the train station. Remember he mentioned something about he wouldn't suspect that Kita would be on the train, but maybe because he thought
there's no way
that they would suspect that I'm gonna do it, and it was a bold move. And I think he kind of took or learned from that. And
he's like, what's the most least suspecting thing that he would expect? And then he did it, and at first I was like, what's he doing? But then when his light started breaking everything down, then I was like, oh dang, it is kind of genius.
Yeah, it was like a chess move.
Yeah, it's like I'm not like a chess master or anything, but it's like whenever you use your queen or even your king and position and use it offensively your king in a way to take the other king, but you're potentially leaving yourself vulnerable. But then it's sometimes the only and best move. Right, kind of like that.
Yeah, it was a bold move by him. So.
Yep, but it might play out. I'm not sure.
Or it might fire.
Or right. I don't know, but like said, he's excited because at the end of the day, he's not necessarily the prime suspect. So right now it's just a game. All he has to do is pretend to be just Light, and not Kira, right?
Yep, exactly.
So curious to see how this chess match will go.
Play the investigator game again.
Game of wits, as he said. Yep. And they're obviously both equally smart. They're both top of their class.
Top of their class. Again, I alluded to this in the last episode, but was it something that L had to get approved? Did he actually make those test scores? Did he actually, take the classes in order to be prepared for those entrance exams? Or is it just...
did he study? You know what I mean? Or is he just that smart? Yeah, I don't know. That's true. How did he actually get in? I don't know if we'll ever... That may just be like a side detail.
Right.
I'm curious about that too, but... Anyways, we're going to go ahead and get started, guys. Before we do, please consider subscribing to the channel. Full length actions over on our Patreon, as well as early access to future episodes. If you want to get that start. Otherwise, we're going to hop into episode 10.
I have to admit, I was surprised, Ryuga. I never thought you'd ask me to play tennis as a way to get to know each other.
It's been a while, but at one time I was actually the British junior champion.
Were you raised in the UK?
I lived in England for about 5 years when I was younger. But save your breath. Nothing in that story would reveal Elle's true identity, I promise you. But I know Kira hates to lose.
Interesting. He's like that much better
15 love.
Whoa, Ryuga, you sure don't mess around.
I'm not asking for details here, just what you're doing and where.
I'm very sorry, sir.
His own superior.
You know, Yagami, it's been 4 months since this case came to the public's attention, and they want results.
The rest of the department runs away with their tails between their legs, and we're incompetent. Do you have any idea how many people are left at task force headquarters these days?
It's true.
If you're concerned with public opinion, then you'll want to suppress the fact that most of our detectives would rather let a serial killer roam free than risk their lives.
That's a good point.
Is he going to think that I'm Kira if I go for the win? I suppose I could just lose on purpose to avoid suspicion.
It's just like
never ending.
I don't see any way that he can profile me based on a tennis match.
They both think that they can win by choice.
He's going for the win.
Light Yagami to serve.
And just like that, we've got an umpire and a line judge.
You're right.
I can see the wheels turning, Light Yagami. I'm already in your head.
And then you're going to try and trap me by getting me to say something that only Kira would know.
The only way to win your trust will be to share what I know about Kira.
They're like having a discussion.
And more importantly, that you are really ill as you say you are.
We'll have to go to task force headquarters.
In all things, one cannot win with defense alone. To win, you must attack!
Oh.
Game and set! Won by Light Yagami!
I'm feeling kind of thirsty. Plus, there's something I wanted to ask you about.
I suspect that you, Light Yagami, are in fact Kira. Now, if you still want to ask me something, then please go ahead.
Oh my God.
That aside, I don't mind telling you that once I'm sure you aren't Kira, and I can verify that your deductive skills are as strong as I think they are, I'd like nothing more than to have you work with me on this investigation.
Oh, man.
It means he has grounds to prevent me from meeting anyone on the task force.
Yeah.
It's quite the preemptive move on his part.
Man, dude. He's just coming out.
I don't sit like this because I want to. I have to sit like this.
Why?
You see, if I were to sit normally, my deductive skills would immediately be reduced by roughly 40%.
So it just helps him.
So, would you mind submitting yourself to a test of your deductive reasoning skills? Photographs of 3 notes written by prison inmates while under Kira's control just prior to their deaths. None of this information has been made public.
Interesting. He wrote these.
Very interesting. If I ignored this fact and was still able to come up with the phrase, "El, do you know, gods of death love apples," what would that mean? The fact that I'm able to solve this silly code isn't enough on its own to prove that I'm Kira. I think Kira wrote these, and it seems he's encoded a message for you as well, almost as if he's mocking you. Rearranging it like this gives you, "El, do you know, gods of death love apples." There are obvious print numbers on the back of all these photographs. Arrange it in that order, we get, "El, do you know, love apples, gods of death."
The thing is, there were actually 4 photographs. When we add this one, it reads, "L, do you know? Gods of death who love apples have red hands."
It's a fake. I never made any criminal write the letter in this 4th picture. Is he stupid?
The truth is, there were 4 of them. If you'd figured that out, it would have been perfect.
Oh, now he's
Even
like...
though you knew the message was incomplete, you decided that there were only 3 notes. You never even considered that there might be a 4th.
This wasn't just about gauging my deductive reasoning skills. He wanted to see what my reaction would be. If I keep falling for his tricks, I'll be playing right into his hands. In any case, the likelihood this message will lead you to Kira is not very great.
If you were me, faced with someone who might be Kira, how would you go about establishing this person's innocence or guilt? You'd need to be absolutely sure.
Probably try to get him to say something that was never made public in any way. Something that only Kira could know.
What's incredible is that I've asked countless detectives that same question, and it took most of them minutes to even come up with an answer. You immediately thought of a scenario in which Kira is speaking directly to the investigator. I'm impressed.
It's like here, either Kira or a great
But it's
detective.
a bit of a double-edged sword. The more impressive my answers, the more of a suspect I become.
I'm in a position where even if you are Kira, it would still be to my benefit to have you working alongside us. Do you know why I'd say that?
Because he helped me find you, in a way.
Whether I'm Kira or not, you stand to gain either way. It's a very smart move on your part. It's true that I do have an interest in the Kira case, and yes, detective work is a hobby of mine. But I know that I'm not Kira, and I certainly don't want to be killed by him. I think I'd be convinced if, say, my father or someone else from the task force headquarters was able to confirm your identity.
This is what he's trying to do, but...
If you can't do that, then I'm afraid I just won't be able to help you.
Could it really be him? Now, if I understand you correctly and I take you to task force headquarters, you'll help us with the investigation.
Dang.
Am I safe?
They just keep calling each other's bluff.
Light, your father is...
Light, it's your...
What?
My father, he had a heart attack.
Oh, somebody else has a...
Maybe he had a heart attack, but he's still okay.
Oh, bruh.
I don't know what that could mean. All right. The specific scope of the condition for death is not known to the gods of death either. So you must examine and find out. The specific scope of the condition for death is not known to the gods.
Before we go back, this could play in Light's benefit.
If his dad dies.
No, even if his dad doesn't.
But he's not a criminal. Everyone up to this point has been a criminal.
Not the FBI agents.
Oh, not people opposing him.
So it could, I don't know, it could play in his way if his dad does die. But even if he doesn't, it could be like, oh, Kira attempted to kill me. Oh, but he only attempted that. And I was with L and Light, so it wasn't either of them, you know?
Yeah, if there was a way that Light could make his dad have a heart attack but not die, I could see him doing that as a way to take the blame off of himself.
Right.
Preemptively.
Right.
But they have to die.
Oh my gosh.
That's a twist. It could have just been a natural heart attack and coincidence.
True.
All right. We'll see. Man, but L's good though, because he keeps probing him, even this back and forth, like Light's being very careful, but it's still like upping. It went from 1 to 7% in that one conversation. One page taken from the death note or even a fragment of the page contains the full effects of the note. Yeah. Even a tiny page.
Yeah.
So the doctors think stress was the only cause?
Yeah. It seems I've been pushing myself a bit too hard.
But now they're
lately.
both there.
Indeed.
To protect his identity, we on the task force refer to him as Ryuzaki. But make no mistake, it's him.
This guy is the real L. My father wouldn't lie. The very same man who's been controlling the police up to this point. There's no need to rush. I have time to sit back and watch.
So now one knows one.
Ryuzaki, Now that you've had the chance to talk to my son, is he cleared as a suspect?
Not long ago, Kira killed 12 FBI agents who'd come to Japan to assist us.
And I was one of the people Ray Pembroke was investigating before he died. It only makes sense I'd be a suspect.
I find Light's deductive powers quite impressive.
My father has erased any doubts I might have had regarding your true identity. Also, I'd like nothing more than to catch Kira so I can prove once and for all that I'm not him.
This is a time in your life when you should be studying to become a police officer.
Who knows how many years that'll take?
I refuse to believe that my son could turn out to be Kira.
This doesn't seem like an act to me.
I think he believes Kira's a separate person, almost like a
Kira is pure evil. I've started thinking of this whole situation in a different way. What is truly evil is the power to kill people. And any person who has come to possess this kind of power is cursed.
Oh.
No matter how you use it, no true happiness can be obtained like that.
Maybe he's
not by killing other people.
Telling that to his son.
If Kira is just a normal person who somehow obtained this awful power, I would say that he's cursed.
I think Light, by killing, he means Kira. He means like doing away with
what would it
being
take to
Kira.
get you to believe? Put yourself in my position. How do you think it feels to be accused of being Kira?
It was one of the worst feelings ever.
What if you were to lock me up for a month in a place with no TV or any other kind of access to the outside world and keep a constant watch over me?
Would any normal person be willing to go to such extreme measures to clear their name?
Right.
That's no good. It's complete nonsense for the investigator to take suggestions from his suspect.
Plus, he already preemptively planned it for so many weeks.
Be patient. It'll become apparent to us if you're not Kira.
I know I agreed to help with the investigation, but I don't think I'll be able to do much until my father is healthy again.
Yes, of course.
Dang.
He's the L I've been fighting this whole time.
Man.
What is his real name?
Are you not Kira?
I never once felt cursed since I picked up the Death Note. I'm happier than I've ever been. All thanks to this power.
See, he's still all in, man.
Honestly, I could care less whether you feel cursed or happy to have a notebook.
I'm just here for a good time.
I believe that normally humans who come into contact with a Shinigami have nothing but misfortune.
He's played the odds so
But
far.
I have no intentions of repeating that pattern.
You people must think that just mentioning Kira's name is enough to get us the ratings we need, huh? Well, you're wrong!
But the police won't talk, sir. It's been impossible to get details from them lately.
Idiot! I don't pay you to complain. If they won't give you anything, then get creative! What is it?
Tapes. Uh-oh. We talked about did she leave recording
This is more
tapes?
like it. This is what I call a story. A message to the world from Kira. If you do not broadcast these tapes, I will kill your company's board of directors one by one.
Dang.
Our ratings are gonna go through the roof.
Is this real? Is it Kira gonna do something as like
Oh my gosh.
as like his move, like his like return serve to L?
Right.
Kind of like L did, like try to throw him off by saying there's 1,500. Man, the parallels are crazy because if you think about it, Light knows that L is actually L,
Right.
but does not know his name. L knows Light Yagami's name,
Right.
but does not know that he's Kira.
Now the only thing with that, I mean, and that's right, but Light has no power. Sorry, L has no power over Light by knowing his name.
He needs to know if he's Kira,
Right.
and vice versa.
Correct.
It doesn't help Light at all knowing that that's L. He has to know his name.
Yeah,
So it's like
yes.
it's like what each of them needs for power. They're giving the half that they don't need.
That right. Yep.
I guess for Light, he technically needs both. He needs to know the face and the name.
Right, but they're not giving the full information.
They're giving half.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Woo.
It's like you have to kind of, like there's some card games so you have to like kind of sacrifice or tip your hand or give something away to try to win the whole thing.
Return. Yeah. Yeah. You got to give to get some.
So maybe up until this point, L has kind of like, he's outsmarted him. Obviously, Light's doing a really good job. He's extremely deductive. But like he said, the more I impress you,
the more you suspect.
The more you suspect me.
Yeah. And he was like, it's 1, now it's 3, now it's 7.
Right. But that's the whole crazy thing with their dynamic. But I feel like now Light sending the tapes to the news station is his way of saying, okay, I've been getting beat.
Yeah.
Over and over and over.
Here's my move.
This is my big move to try to, because he's had a big move before,
right,
in previous episodes. So yeah, I don't know what
could be on those tapes.
I can't. It's so early in the show. There's no way I could tell where this could go.
Right. Or telling what's on these tapes, like what type of information. Or
what if like L accidentally touches the Death Note paper and he sees
Shinigami.
or the Shinigami, yeah. Or something crazy.
Yeah.
Dang. That was wild. I thought last episode was crazy whenever he said, I'm L.
Oh, yeah.
And then this episode, he's like, I'll just cut to the chase. I think you're Kira.
I suspect that you're Kira. It's like, whoa. Maybe he shouldn't have beat him in that tennis match.
And the fact that he has to like come up with stuff on the fly, Light does.
Yeah.
Like,
that just shows how good and smart he is.
I know. But like he was, but you can't try too hard. Like,
right.
No, what? It's like, of course not. Nervously laughing.
The reaction, all of that. It's just,
it has to be natural.
Yeah.
And the only time he seemed to go a little overboard was whenever he's like, you could lock me away in a room for a month with no TV internet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty extreme for someone who's innocent.
Right. But nonetheless.
Golly, what the heck's going to happen?
I'm excited.
I know. Oh yeah, and then the whole thing about him, his conversation with his dad, like, I'll kill Kira.
Oh yes. That was like the humane side, if you will.
The human side, he's like nothing, because I think he obviously loves his dad. So we asked earlier, like, is he going to get so wild that if his dad opposes him, he's willing to kill his dad? I don't think that's the case right now. That might change, but
it's possible.
At the same time, it's like that how he's able to self-justify. I think he sees, because Kira is called Kira, and so it almost like he's treating almost like an alter ego, like a schizophrenic thing,
right?
And like he's like, I can destroy Kira, aka I'll stop being Kira, I'll stop whatever.
True.
And that's how he's like kind of self-justifying it, I guess.
Yeah, to keep that promise to his dad,
just to keep his dad safe. Yeah.
Dang.
Man, so yeah, I don't know, I don't know what. That's a tough spot to be in, to like help the police force. Like if he officially joins, yourself. Like you have to do it, just like do 95%, but that last 5% of the work is just enough to like
keep them off your tail.
Think of it this way, like the metaphoric, like if this is Kira, instead of like going lead him all the way to him, lead him like a slightly bit off. So you're helping him a lot, but then you divert just enough, and the longer you go, the further away technically
that they
are.
Yeah,
you know, something like that.
And that's what he's gonna have to do, because
he has to be patient. Have to be really patient, like he said. He's like, don't rush this.
Yep.
Because he could just find a way to kill L
and take it out the picture
without the book.
True. That's
kind of what he had said. He's like, that would be messy. You don't right poisoning.
Oh,
him.
That's right. He said I would even use my own hands or whatever.
Right. He's like, but it's not that easy. Because if he dies suddenly, whenever, especially now when he's telling or like spending time with Light, you have to almost wait way deep into the investigation. A year later,
right? So where you're not a suspect, which I think he's going to continue to be a suspect.
You'll always be a suspect, but maybe you've moved on and checked. You're trying other people or doing all these other things, and then you're really good about not slipping up. And at that point, you do it, because right now it's so early. It would be obvious. It's like y'all just met and now he died.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think it will be hard to kill even without the book. Like with the book or without the book. With the book you can't, because you don't know his name. But like poisoning, all that stuff, I think he's just way too careful.
Yeah, unless he takes Shinigami up on that deal.
I don't know. You get one of those names, and you get a coffee creamer and you inject some rat poison in it or something.
Oh yeah, that's right. He loves
sweets, or bring him ice cream. But unless I don't know.
Dang,
I don't know how you do it. That's wild. I'm over here trying to help Light plot a murder.
Like you're like one episode, you're like, I think L's gonna get him, and then now you're like, no, Light is gonna inject rat poison into his creamer and ice cream.
I know. Yeah, I know. This is
just flip flopping.
Light's I think L's impressive because he's doing all of this using he has no magical death god next to him or book. He's doing this all just with regular deductive reasoning.
Right.
Light has that
True
too.
Detective.
But he's had a little bit of a crutch because he can do things with the book, like get people to do stuff for him before they die, as well as like he had Shinigami look for the 64 cameras in the room. You know, little things like that. He has help technically, but I guess L has the police force. But I think the Shinigami, the death god,
book's OP'd.
Yeah, a little bit more OP'd. He can fly, kind of.
Yep.
Good episode. Enjoyed that one. But yep, that's it. Anything else?
Nope, nothing I can think of right now.
Yep, good episode. I think that's all we got for today, guys. So if you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing to our channel. Full length reactions over on our Patreon, as well as early access to future episodes. You want to check those out. But we'll be back next week with episode 11. So until then, we will catch you on the next one. Peace.